The Actors Fund for everyone in entertainment. We meet Tuesdays at 2 p.m. We are all older adult performers. There's always something cooking. Here is our director, Tracy DiGesu.
Get started. I just want a round of applause, and I want to say that I'm so happy to see Susie here. Oh, thank you.
The Punch Bowl Bumpoff is dedicated to the memory of Bill Galarno, who referred to himself as a trooper, which he was. Seeing this recording through to completion while in painfully ill health. He also thought himself as a migrant worker who has had a varied and extensive performance career as an actor, director, playwright in various mediums. He especially loved the stage and said, "Theater is my religion, my life." Here is Bill's last performance while we recorded our scripted podcast. He was ill, in pain, but gave it his all, as usual.
While she was in prison, we wrote to one another. This is when I fell madly, truly, deeply in love with her. After her release, the puppet master decided to take the troupe to the United States.
But as Bill would say, the show must go on. So let's take a look at our last encounter with Bill at the recording session of the scripted podcast. Recently, we showed you that we are preparing a scripted podcast, The Punch Bowl Bumpoff by Zan Hall. Now you will see some of the recording scenes while we are getting ready to put them online for streaming. Here we go. Frankie, as usual, you help us. You're such an
Yes,
angel.
you need. Tell me what you need.
Okay.
Here,
Give me one more close up.
tell me what you
And
need.
some hands. The actors are arriving and we're getting the studio ready.
I know.
You want your face? Okay. I like that. There we go. This one likes his face.
Hello, Richie Van
He
Dyke.
loves his face. This one is handsome. You with the feet.
Obviously.
Nice cozy layout you got here, like the Taj Mahal. I take it you're Mrs. Van Rich.
That's correct.
I recognize you from the newsreels, but they don't do you justice. You're a nice slice of cheesecake.
Oh, thank you for the food comparison. You'll have to excuse me. I'm a bit wet after my game.
Who won?
I did, naturally. Oh, let me relax a moment. I don't seem to be able to smoke a cigarette unless it's in a holder. Do you have a light?
Yeah. Here. Did anyone ever tell you you've got a wart that could melt the polar ice caps?
You always make passes at grieving widows, Mr.
No,
Flanagan.
no. You just look great in black shorts, baby.
I thought black appropriate under the circumstances. You have quite a reputation.
I try to play it on the Q&T.
I meant about your sleuthing abilities.
Oh, that too. But there's something I don't get. Why call me in on a case that the cops have picked cleaner than a tourist by Saraba street merchants? Surely I'm just walking the tracks they already investigated.
Because you're the best in the business. Our friends, the Mellons, raved over you way you recovered a stolen diamond tiara. It was taken from a wall safe during a social gathering.
Well, commiserating again, Luella?
Only the tears you can't find in yourself to shed.
I'm parched. I think I'd like a bit of the bubbly, too. I see grieving hasn't weakened your tennis volley, Mother. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Richard Van Rich, Simoleon Van Rich's estranged son.
I'm Slats Flanagan, B.I. Your stepmother called me in.
Covering all the angles, Luella.
Since the police made no headway, I thought a private investigator would be helpful to the situation.
Situation? That's putting the hell we've been going through on an acceptable parlance.
I should think you'd want to find your father's murderer.
Oh, I do have my suspicions about it.
As do I.
Look, if I wanted to watch a sparring match, I'd go down to Kelsey's gym. Right now I've got a murder to solve and a pocket full of nothing to solve it with.
It is what it is. Cigarette.
Thanks. Fancy looking case. And heavy. Is it gold?
Pure. Single thing that goes on around me.
Were you too busy to find out your father cut you out of his will, leaving everything to Luella? Oops. Did I say something to upset you?
It was quite an odd thing about that will. My father confided in me that he was changing it, naming me sole beneficiary. And 2 weeks before his demise, he said it was sent over to our lawyers, Dewey Cheatham and Howe, for notarization. Well, it never showed up. One guess who intervened with the delivery?
It's possible she didn't know what was in the envelope.
Mr. Flanagan, Luella knows how many blades of grass there are on our front lawn.
10,173. Where's my vamp? What was that crash I heard?
It seems I've suddenly acquired a bad case of butterfingers. One of the Chinese artifacts slipped out of my hands.
Well, I suppose you can't hold on to everything in life.
No, Luella, but some of us do try.
He wasn't in Shanghai when his father was murdered.
How do you know that?
Just 2 days before Simoleon's death, I was restless, and I went downstairs for a glass of warm milk. As I passed the library, I heard Richie and Simoleon's arguing.
Did you tell the police?
No, they would have drawn wrong conclusions. I'm sure Richie had nothing to do with the murder.
Maybe, maybe not. Well, I guess that's it for the dope on this place. I'm going to ride over to the country club and talk to the employees who were there that night.
I'll see you to the door. I hope this case doesn't prove too hard for you.
Nothing's hard for me until I get near a beautiful dame.
You have such a poetic way of stating your attractions for the opposite sex. If I can be of further assistance, please don't hesitate to call.
I'll do that, baby.
Goodbye.
Oh, before you leave, Arby.
Our bagage.
Before you leave, can you point out anybody in this room who was here that night?
Yes, I can. Do you see?
When Arbogast comes in and announces that everybody's to blow over to the next room for eats. As I passed Van Rich on my way out, I slipped him my mitt for a congratulatory handshake. Next, I was sipping soup at the dining room table when a dusty old broad runs in screaming, "Mida!" Some people filed out through the door, but I stayed and finished my dessert.
You seem pretty blasé about the whole episode.
I'm a black Italian. I grew up in Red Hook, Brooklyn. Murder is a way of life.
Then what happened?
Arbogast comes in and tells the crowd, there's been an accident and we gotta leave. So you see, I wasn't even in the same room with the guy when he was corpsed.
It's only when someone is in the room with you that they're safe. Otherwise, one of your associates might give them a very short visit.
If you try to pin this rap on me, you'd better come off with more than lip service for the DA.
Daisy Malloy, the golf instructor. Mr. Aubergage said you wanted to talk to me?
Oh, that reminds me. I have to bed my yacht for the evening. May I be excused?
Yeah, I gotta take a powder too. Be seeing you around, Flanagan.
You can bet on it. You too, Mr. Rich.
Oh, Mr. Fresco, don't forget our lesson later.
Wouldn't miss it for the world, doll face. Abyssinia.
I'd say you were from Raleigh, North Carolina, with a summer spent in Alabama and a weekend in Buffalo.
My Dixie must be showing.
Would you care for a drink?
Oh, no, thank you. You know the old saying, a girl's gotta watch her figure, otherwise no one else will.
You don't have to worry about that. How'd you like to help me with my strokes sometimes, doll?
It depends on how many balls you have.
I've got enough for a hole-in-one.
Don't you think you're trying to drive down the fairway using a little old putter?
My wood's pretty strong.
Looks like a wedge from here.
I know how to score.
I bet you got more of a handicap than you think. Now, suppose we stop putting around and get on the green.
I understand you had a golf lesson with Mr. Van Rich the afternoon of his murder. Is there anything he might have said that could be a clue as to who could have given him it would extend as far as murder?
Might could. I don't think Mr. Rittenhouse was half the businessman Mr. Van Rich is. I meant was. I'm sure you heard they were Taki Toys business partners afore Mr. Rittenhouse got exposed, I guess you could say, in one of those girly movie houses. Mr. Van Rich paid a lot of people not to inform the press. It could have ruined their business.
How did you feel about Mr. Van Rich?
He was a very powerful and influential man.
That isn't what I asked.
You want my candy opinion?
Nah.
Well, I thought he was sweeter than a suck of sugar. Oh, I was very aware that some people thought of him as just another dog with a big collar, but they're just jealous. You want to watch someone, watch that widow of his. That woman could talk the North out of the South.
Where were you when Mr. Van Rich was murdered?
I was in the gymnasium swimming pool practicing my breaststrokes.
And you were doing a good job. What time was this?
I'd say twixt a hawk and a buzzard.
Excuse me?
About dusk, when you're hard put to tell the difference between a hawk and a buzzard.
You got a witness?
Krakitch, the gym custodian, was on duty.
Who happens to be vacationing in Romania right now.
Ain't that a shame?
2 notes. Arbogast, when you cut her off great, but it's more like you're meaning to cut her off because she's got a clue there. I don't believe I'm familiar with this one. Well, she doesn't exist. So it's you see, Miss, you can do a little kind of thing like that before. So
I wanted to cut off.
You cut her off really well. You see, Mrs. Enovich, but it sounded like the actor was coming in and cutting off the other actor. It would be like, you see, Mrs. Enovich is from Yugoslavia and is hard of hearing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you want me to do a little? I never. Well, you see, Mrs. Enovich, you want to put that in there. Right?
Yeah, I don't believe I am familiar with her. Does she work here? I've never heard. You see, Mrs. Enovich is from Yugoslavia and is hard of hearing. Kind of like you're covering her up.
That bench was a setup.
That's what all you mugs say. Funny how you and murder go together, Al. Like Fred and Ginger.
Funny how you and stupid go together, Flanagan. Like Charlie and McCarthy.
That's one dummy.
Hey, you talk nice, or maybe you won't be talking at all.
All I meant was Charlie McCarthy is the dummy's name.
He's right, Al. Charlie McCarthy is the name of Edgar Bergen's dummy. You should have said, funny how you and stupid go together like Charlie and Edgar.
Okay, sorry about jumping to conclusions. I heard you was here investigating some Mulligan's murder.
So, what's your rap, Frisco? Where were you during the murder?
Oh, Slatsy. You know I ain't the kind to kiss and tell.
Better give me your story. Otherwise, I might make up my own.
And don't get constipated. I tell you whatever you want to know. I got nothing to hide. I was having a drink with a couple of associates in the Moneybags room when I seen Van Rich walk in. I was conducting a little conversational business of my own when Arbogast comes in and announces that everybody's to blow over to the next room for eats.
Is in the room with you that they're safe. Otherwise, one of your associates might give them a very short visit.
If you try to pin this rap on me, you'd better come off with more than lip service for the DA.
When the time comes, I'll have plenty.
Excuse me.
All right, I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure she shows.
If you'll excuse me, I have a banquet to arrange for this evening.
May I go, Mr. Flanagan? I have loads of clients to see.
Sure, Bright Eyes, but stick around town.
Fine, I have nothing to hide, as you can see. If there's a polecat in the hen house, I'm sure you'll flush him out.
Using the club's card room alone before noon. A little early for that, don't you think?
And why aren't you at the office inventing new toys that Tots can blow us off of the face of the earth with?
Have you seen that snooping twit around this morning?
Flanagan?
Who else? I detest that Luella hired that idiot to dredge this whole murder episode up again.
But it was never settled. Don't you read Walter Winchell's column? Confess to the murder.
Now stop it! Can't you take anything seriously?
Why?
I don't like him poking into my affairs, asking questions.
Are you afraid he'll find out about the Garden of Petty Cash?
How did you know about that?
It's common knowledge.
How common?
The club's underpaid busboys are more than happy to blab for a few dollars about you and my father arguing in the club's garden that evening. What was it about?
Nothing in
You
particular.
know, what he told me once when we were having one of our touching father-son heart-to-hearts. He said, "Every morning when I awake, I walk out to the veranda and spit on the world." Quite an epigrammatist, wouldn't you say?
I'll admit I've deliciously fantasized about his demise, but I didn't kill him.
Well, if you are not the murderer, then all you need to
What
do
do you
is...
mean if?
All you need to do is have patience and let the cards fall where they
Has
may.
anyone seen Flanagan?
Take a number.
I've heard he's narrowed his investigation to a few suspects, but I don't know to whom.
Perhaps if we put our heads together, we could come up with some theories that might solve the mystery.
My, murder doth make strange bedfellows of us all.
Oh, Richie, why do you insist on being tiresomely sarcastic?
Oh, please forgive me, Luella. Perhaps it's being cut from my father's will that makes me testy, or is it because I haven't had my morning espresso? I'm not sure which.
If he chose to cut you from his will, that was his decision. Stop blaming me for it. Maybe this was his final answer to your hedonistic lifestyle.
Dear Luella, they're doing such marvelous advances in forensics. Forgery and other such ungodly criminal cover-ups are being brought to light more easily.
Dear Richie, you're such a sore loser.
But the game is not over.
But I'm not playing.
Whether you're dummy or not, you're still at the table.
Luella, I'd like to talk privately with you for a moment.
Allow me.
If you need anything else, madam, I am at your service in the butler's quarters.
Will you wait for me, Slats?
Maybe. But don't expect me to drink a fruit punch toast with you if you get out.
I don't like people seeing me coming and going places.
Luella and I, we were just learning the new dance craze, the Lindy Hop.
Don't worry, I ain't gonna squeal. Women, you can't live with them, and you can't live with them. Who was it that said women are like gongs? They gotta be struck regular like.
Noel Coward, I believe.
You must have known Danes pretty well.
Not as well as he knows men.
Listen, I'm glad we got a chance to be alone. I'd like to talk turkey with you.
In what way?
This. How'd you like to take over Van Rich's import-export trade in the Far East?
Keep talking.
Van Rich orphaned a nice little business set up there. You see, they got real cheap materials and labor over there. People work for chopsticks. There's this doll. You feed it a bottle and it wets his drawers. What's it called?
The Toiletina doll.
I don't really see. Beats me why little girls get so jazzed up over something they gotta keep cleaning up after. But who biggest frill?
Isn't that pidgin English?
Same difference.
Penguin point, say kitchen. I wrong side.
This laundry guy says he got the directions from the maitre d'. Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Oh no, all chinky look same.
That's true. To get to the kitchen,
Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Van Rich. Why is it so dark in here? Perhaps you two gentlemen would like a little privacy.
No, that's all right, Jeffrey. This man was just delivering the laundry.
Is that what they call it now? Oh, you are from the laundry. Those must be the newly cleaned linens.
Say it again without the ah.
The kitchen's this way. Follow me.
Excuse, please. I come to clean.
I say, can't you do that somewhere else? I'm making a phone call. Excuse me. Can't you do that some other time? I want to be alone.
Oh, yes, room very dirty. Katrina clean, you bet.
Oh, never mind. I'm leaving. I need a drink.
This the dame?
Yes.
Oh, Flanagan. I've been meaning to talk to you about Luella. Did you know she was involved in a scandalous intrigue with some man in Louisiana before she met my Madam, will you turn that thing off?
Yes, dirty. I clean.
I'm afraid you will have to let Mrs. Zenovich get on with her cleaning.
I'll catch up with you later, Junior, after I question the cleaning lady.
No, that's
Very well.
Listen, madam.
Hello, Adam. I Katrina.
No, I Slats.
That's I Katrina. You hard of hearing.
What are we doing here? A Laurel and Hardy routine? Come on. Help me here, Arby. Tell her I want to find out what happened the day of the murder. I want to know what she saw.
Perhaps if I spoke to her in her country's language, it might help a little.
Which is?
She's from Yugoslavia. She speaks Croatian. Mrs. Zenovich, prestani se saliti ogavari muk dako teche otisha.
I think we just tuned her in. How do you know Croatian?
Well, a few words here and there from Mrs. Zenovich.
Okay, lady. Tell me about the murder. Drown. Van Rich. Punch bowl. Drown. Dead?
Ah, yes, very bad. Van Rich, he die. Good man. Give Katrina big tips.
Yes, that's it. I think we got the connection. Tell me what happened that night.
No, Belgrade.
Operator, we just lost the connection.
You ask if I'm Muscovite. I say no, I'm from Belgrade, Yugoslavia. Not Russia. Whole family from Yugoslavia, except cousin Vladimir, who's a little funny. He's liking to wear grandma's petticoats. We think he from Transylvania.
Look, forget the family tree. What I want to know is what happened on Saturday, October 18th. You saw Van Rich dead?
Oh, yes. I see him dead. He dead.
You tell me what you saw, and I will write it down in this notebook.
Good. Yes. Saturday, party. I not work Thursdays, day off. I mean Friday. Friday day off, but I work on Saturday. All day Saturday cleaning. Big party, lots of rich fancy people, beautiful clothes. Everybody go into dining room across hall. Mr. Arbagash, he tell people to go and eat. They hungry. They go. After they leave, I come in to clean. I see one man. He's standing, leaning over table, head in bowl, not moving. I pay no attention. I think maybe he lose something in bowl and look for it. I ask to help, but he not answer. I ask again and touch his shoulder like this. But he not move. He fall down. I hear footsteps outside. I look up and I see man run past window. Big man. I look past that man, back at the man on the floor and see his face. Oh, puffy, not breathing. I find this on table next to him.
A small vial. Ammonia DZ with calcium propionate, hair remover, and a sprig of parsley. Knockout drops. Van Rich must have been drugged before he was murdered. When you saw the man running, where were you standing in the room?
No, not a broom, a vacuum cleaner.
Don't check out on me now, lady. We're getting...
Thank you for watching the recording of our scripted podcast. It'll be ready soon for streaming.